welcome to Talking Gems.
Hi, I'm Onyx.
I'm Phoenix.
Alasia.
And I'm Lauren. And today we'll be talking about body image, body positivity movement. Is that even working? And how like media and these brands and all of that kind of wraps all into that. Mm-hmm. So anybody want to kick us off?
Well, I will. I'm so annoying. I will. Okay, so I, you're just in the world as we see a lot of these campaigns like Fenty, Aerie, Fabletics, and all these other brands. I love the push for body positivity. Oh, we're gonna have models of all different shapes and sizes, from like really small to like bigger, plus size, to a more muscular.
And no airbrush. Aerie was doing that. I remember I went in there. I saw stretch marks on these models, and I was like, "We're not supposed to see that."
Yeah, they don't do any like touch ups, and they do very like natural makeup and everything. Yeah. I love it. And then people with different skin. What is it called?
Vitiligo.
Yeah, vitiligo. Like just trying to embrace
Cellulites.
Yes, they're trying to embrace everything, and I love the push, right? But then at the same time, I feel like it's not working because all these other things are out here to counter it, like Facetune, BBLs, a lot of surgeries happen. Yes, a lot.
Flat tummy tees.
Yes, waist trainers. There's so much. We're getting conflicting messaging from the media and society in the world, and it's just a lot of pressure because it's like, oh, you need to embrace your body, but then it's at the same time it's like, but this body, because we don't like this body, but it needs to be the perfect, and you have thick in the right places, or if you're thick, like it doesn't matter how thick or plus size you are, if you have a flat stomach, that's the way to go.
Yeah,
exactly. You can't okay, having a flat stomach does not mean you're healthy. It's health over body image, in my opinion. So, like, at the end of the day, yes, there's body positivity, but there's also body insecurity and also health insecurity. So, it's an ever increasing, okay, I want to have this body type, which is the quote unquote Instagram body or Instagram body type. But people are buying waist trainers, which is just corsets, but not as suffocating. And you're kind of just rearranging your body organs and like shaping your natural body. And you're, I don't know, it's just like so many ways you're just like changing your natural body shape. You're not loving yourself.
Yes.
To fit an image that manufactured by media. Once again.
Yeah.
And then when it's like creating more I guess like anorexia and bulimia still. It's like, okay, it's still a cycle.
Yeah, I definitely feel like when you still think about the celebrities with all the different body types, air quote, a lot of them still just have like a small waist, thick butt, thick thighs, boobs, and a very pretty face. And I think about, and like I love Ashley Graham, and I think she's done so many steps, but she's gorgeous. She's like insanely gorgeous. Like she has a gorgeous face, and I feel like that's kind of like, oh, we can accept that. Like
but you're also, she's not that big.
And
she's not.
She has I have a flat stomach, but I'm thick.
She's literally just like a little bit like muscular, a little thicker. Like she's not.
Yeah, and people like Lizzo but my thing is like, you shouldn't need a Lizzo, and Lizzo, like her as her personality is very like fun, in your face. You don't like, she just wants to just show her body however much or little she wants to do. And you do have people in her comments like, oh, we get it, Lizzo, like you're comfortable with your body and da 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 da. And I'm like, she's not posting to like make you get used to it. Like that's natural for her. That's why with all these other Instagram models who are just constantly posting in their bikinis or their underwear, like they're not like, that's what they want to do. Like that's what they're comfortable with, but you're not telling them to stop.
She has also said multiple times like she's not doing that like for herself. She's doing it for all the other like girls specifically, like younger, who are seeing all these Instagram models and Instagram girls doing all this stuff, but then when someone like Lizzo does it, it's a problem when it comes to her.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So just to normalize it, and it's not like, because remember when I think someone was doing like a live stream, and I think like Drea was on there, and like she was dancing, she was twerking, whatever, and they was all hyping her up. And then Lizzo came on, and she turned around for a sec, did a little toot toot. I think it was that, did a little toot toot, and they was like, oh, whoa, wait a second.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, okay.
He was like, it's Sunday.
Yes.
Yo. She was like, I'm so sorry. But literally, Drea was just like bouncing around her room, just ass everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
no, yeah.
Double standards.
But even then, I feel like Lizzo benefits from pretty privilege in a way.
Yeah, a little. But
A little.
I don't think so. I don't think she's as conventional. Like her face? Are you saying like?
Yeah, her face.
I mean, I think she's beautiful.
Yeah.
But I don't think she's as conventional to the rest of the world.
I mean, I understand what Phoenix is saying, as in if she didn't look as pretty, it would be hit harder than it already is.
I mean, it definitely would, yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
That's what I'm saying.
pretty privilege, you could get away with more. Like, she's allowed to be this loud and, like, in your face with it because she's pretty. But say someone else were to do it, it would probably be like she would have got like smacked out of the industry like, quicker.
She wouldn't be anywhere near where Lizzo is.
Yeah.
I definitely feel like there used to be ideal type is like skinny model, like super skinny, super thin. Like watching Sister, how like they don't like my butt is big. My butt is big, and it's just such a like whoa, because like that is not what you would see nowadays.
Yeah,
and
now you want a thick butt.
Yeah, it's like now you want like a different look, and that's it. That's all it's changed, really.
Yeah.
It's like we don't maybe want the stick thin, but we still want something that's not we want something that's not attainable for majority of people instead of just fully embracing.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So I think this is like the key problem. So now people are trying to construct their ideal body type instead of trying to make sure pinpoint what their body type is and make the best out of their body type. And so now they're still aspiring for something that your body cannot obtain. Like I cannot get the thick thigh look. Like I'm a box. Like it's going to just be like straight. Like I'm not going to have curves the way other people are going to have curves, right? So you have to learn how to work with what you have. Or people who have curves, you're not going to be able to get a box shape. It's like your body's not built for that.
Exactly. And I think that's the main issue with projecting these like, oh, this is the ideal body type. There shouldn't be an ideal body type. That's the main issue with like media and culture. Like, why is there an ideal body type? Like in the 90s, it was
profit.
Yeah, it's profit. Yeah, to sell these flat tummy tees, sell these waist trainers, but it's also promoting eating disorders. Yeah, like that's how you get an increase in anorexia, increase of bulimia, an increase of like people just like dying of just not eating, period. It's just like, I don't know, it's a problem.
And a lot of body dysmorphia.
Dysmorphia.
Especially because you know how I mean it's with technology too, but how younger people, since they are on like Instagram and social media, the like statistics of like anxiety and everything has gone up because of that, and because of these like perpetuated ideals that we keep seeing. These like Instagram influencers,
and like depression and all that.
We definitely talked about before, I don't think it was on a pod or anything, but how I feel like teenagers now, like kids in high school, are looking like how people would dress once they get to college or their 20s.
We didn't talk about it on the pod. It was just a separate conversation.
Yeah, like that's why like when I go on like teenagers Instagram, like people that you start following from shows or whatever, and it's like wild. Like you're like they're at school and they're still like how they pose and like what they're wearing is so, and I'm not trying to say like, you know, hide your body, like cover up, but it's just like the level that they get to. I feel like where's your post about just being normal, having fun? It's still so staged, so
Remember
early.
we were talking about Rowan Banchard one time?
Yes.
We were like, is she like happy though? Like she's like,
Yes.
she's very like, well, she probably,
But
she's like
very
fine, yeah,
model-esque.
yeah, she's very like but I think that's just she's just an
Yeah.
artistic little girly.
Yeah. But like
But-
even her at like she was like 12, 13 and already so art like
Mhm.
Yeah.
okay, it's like they grow up faster, like even in the mind. Like she was already kind of like an activist, right? Or she was always just like pushing things forward at a young age, which is like admirable. But then at the same time, I still feel like
you have a childhood.
yeah, like did you just play and get messy? Did you just roll around in the mud? Like I was curious because especially the dance mom girls,
Yeah.
a lot of them, it's like we're wearing the same clothes. And I'm not talking about like now because a lot, some of them are going to college, but I'm talking about like 3-4 years ago.
Yeah.
We were wearing the same exact things, and there's 6-7 years in between our ages. It's just wow to me because that's what they think they have to look like to like be the ideal
Yes.
girl
Yeah.
or woman.
That's true.
And it's
do they
like-
dress for comfort anymore? Because I remember back in high school, it was like,
yoga pants.
yes, yoga pants,
Uggs.
rainbow flip flops, like sweatshirts and shorts. Like it was a lot more comfort based. Not a lot of girls wore makeup.
Because
and then
now it's now it's everybody wants to have like, especially like these like artsy teens, like
Yeah.
you
have a
want to
style.
put on, you want to put on like this,
And like you want to be an
Show.
e-girl. You want to be a soft
yeah,
girl.
you want to like, you want an aesthetic,
Yeah. Yes,
everybody wants a brand
You
at 14.
have like you go to high school, like if we go to a high school, we can see what aesthetic every person is trying to achieve.
Yes.
When we were in high school, you might have had 1 or 2 girls who like to dress up, or you might have had, but even the way they dressed up, it was they just
Comfortable.
Like one day they wore this, one day it wasn't. They were trying to perpetuate a certain type of look each and every day. And I'm just like, whoa, like you literally look like you shop on Pretty Little Thing. Like these look like, like
That's so true.
whereas before you can look at a girl and like she dresses up every day and she's like did up, but I can't tell exactly where you got each and every outfit.
yeah.
Because I feel like back in our high school, like we kind of had a little aesthetic, but it was like a 90s aesthetic. You feel me?
But then that was just 90s was just more in at that time.
No, yeah, that's what I'm saying. It was just like, it was a 90s style. It was just like the 90s was in, but it wasn't like, oh, I'm an e-girl. Like it was just like, I feel like now it's a little boxed in. It's just like a specific
but then
aesthetic.
Yeah, that could just be like a Gen Z thing though. How we're very
Yeah,
just
like
into
that's
like
what I'm saying. Like now it's just like I
looks.
feel like it's especially with like how it's like media is perpetuating like or like TikTok is like, oh, you're an e-girl, you're a soft girl. It's perpetuated by media.
Yeah.
I also feel like there's been a big push in the recent years to normalize plastic surgery. But I think the age of plastic surgery is where I have the big problem because I don't think at 16, 17, when your body's not done growing, it hasn't fully figured it out yet, that you're already trying to achieve like a certain body look and like I want to get lip fillers and like I want to like do all
that
this
was happening
stuff.
with a lot
My
of
nose
young
job.
like MUAs. Makeup like Instagram like makeup art. Like a lot of them were getting like lip fillers. I remember, I don't know if it was just like, I don't know if he was just like a regular person or if he was a makeup artist on I'm pretty sure he was, but I remember it was like a story. I think he was probably like 14 or something. He's like a makeup influencer on like Instagram, and he went and got like lip fillers and like Botox and all this stuff. And people were like, your face isn't done growing yet.
Yeah.
Like but then he's in this
haven't
makeup
the rich
world.
kids
Or,
always done that?
yeah, I mean
Well,
probably.
no and yes.
It's like
It's
no,
probably
Plastic
gotten
surgery
greater.
has just gotten what made that popular
Normalized?
was normalized. It wasn't normalized, and like some people will get it because like maybe they actually like people get. I know people who got nose jobs because of like their air breathe, like the way they breathe out their nose, like. But like it wasn't because they were trying to achieve a perfect look, right? But where now it's like who started it, we can say, or
Kylie.
was Kylie Jenner, where she literally at a young age she started transforming her body. And so, and then we know a lot of other famous people did it, but before her, who did it? Who was like out there just drastically changing her
Yeah.
body at a young age?
I feel like it was people who got plastic surgery beforehand, you don't necessarily notice. Like they had an ugly nose and they got a normal looking nose. You know, like it was very small things that are very specific, but like the average teenager wasn't like, yeah, I need my lips bigger. I need this
going
done.
through full body surgery.
Yeah, but I feel like now it's kind of like because things have gone non-invasive, like there's ways to get plumps and fillers without having to go like under the knife. It's so convenient and easy to just like, yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and just like change your whole body, change your whole face.
Yeah.
And it's like, let your body like literally finish growing.
Yeah.
And that's, I think, the age has just gone extremely too young. I feel like that's part of the mentality. Like I don't have kids. I'm nowhere near kids, but I'm already like, I don't want my 12-year-old or my 14-year-old thinking like, oh, I'm planning on my plastic surgery list.
Yeah.
Like what?
Yeah.
For Christmas?
I'm sorry. Do you think this kind of perpetuate like predatory culture in a way? Like,
What do you mean?
I mean,
As
I
in,
feel like
like-
it's always. I feel like it's always been there. It's just this is like the excuse, like, oh, well, they looked like they were 26. I'm
Yeah,
like, but you
that's
know
what
they're
I mean.
14.
Yeah.
Like,
But you
Even
know.
when we
So I
are-
think it's just like an excuse. But I feel like if you like you're a pedophile, you're a pedophile.
Yeah,
Like,
Yeah.
it's
because
the
I
disease.
remember being like 14 and like men coming up to me like at J.C. Penney's thinking I was like 8. I think my mom was there and he thought I was like 18 or something. Like I'm literally a child.
Yeah, they do that all
That's
the
just
time.
always what
But
it is.
No, it's always been a thing. But I feel like also it gives them an excuse
Yes.
even more to be like, well, she look older, blah blah blah. I'm just
Yeah.
like, no.
They're always looking for excuses.
Yeah.
So I do think that they're gonna just use anything
Yeah, because
Yeah.
it's
to grab at,
pedophiles.
because even when we're like when people, whenever they approach us or like, okay, I look like a child, like I look young.
Exactly.
So I've been around people where they like, in your case, like, oh, I thought you look older than you were.
Mm-hmm.
Me, I get, oh, you don't look that, like you look 16.
Oh, they come at you thinking you're
Yes.
a child. And,
Yes.
Yes, and that's what I'm like. What is wrong with you? So like they're both wrong, but
Yeah.
I'm like, I get it, and I know I be looking like a child sometimes, and they don't think I'm my age because they're like, how are you working here? You don't look old enough to work here. Now that's sketch. But then at least when they're like, oh, I thought you were older when you are. You know, like it's just like the preface, you're still creeped because you probably know you're still in the younger age.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I get even more creeped out when they're coming up to me and be like, oh, I thought you were like a child. Like, wow, you look so young. I'm like, oh, okay, that's disgusting.
It's like, to me, it's very rare that a 16-year-old looks 35. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like there's a few people that, you know, sometimes they just, wow, like you're an adult. But like,
Oh no, I don't think they look 35. They think
they look 21.
Like in
That's-
their
but
early
that's-
20s,
yeah, no,
20.
yeah, that,
on younger woman.
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. Like,
Weird.
the whole idea of like, oh, I thought you were older. I'm like, even if I was 4 or 5 years older, the fact that you're 45 and you're coming at me still is a problem. So I don't like the whole
My-
like, oh, but I thought she was 21. Why are you going after a 21-year-old?
But
Exactly.
I think the more common case is guys in college or people in college going after high school girls
Yeah.
who
Oh
look
my
like they're in college.
Do y'all remember like high school seniors going after high school freshmen?
Yeah.
all the
all
time.
the time.
That was gross. No? Like that was weird.
It depends on the case, but yes, it was weird.
They were 18 going after 14-year-olds.
Okay, yes.
Some of them are 17.
But
16
yeah,
now.
some of them aren't. You could be a like
I know seniors who are 16.
and I know
year-olds.
freshmen who were 16.
Yeah.
So, but if you're talking about your
depends.
typical
Yes, I'm talking about
18-year-old
that.
to 14-year-old, I
That was weird.
I didn't know any, but that is weird.
Yeah.
I just feel like there's obviously there's always exception to the rules, but in general, whenever I was a freshman, like whether it's college or in high school, and then I think about when I was a senior, there's just so much growth. And yes,
It's
there are
different.
some people who are more mature for like
Yeah.
there are like college freshmen who are very mature, so it works out. But I still notice a lot of college seniors going after freshmen, not because it's like, oh, I really like that person, and that person, like we match maturity levels and it works out. It's like
They were easy.
they were like, yeah, I want to go after the freshman because
Okay.
I
She
don't have no
know I can.
experience.
Yeah, she's I feel like who I end up seeing.
It's predatory, but
Yeah.
I don't feel the same way with college senior and a college senior and a college freshman, I don't think that as weird as a
the
high school senior and a freshman.
It's just the mentality is so different. But going back to like bodies, there was so you know Torrid, it's like a plus size like brand and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Did y'all see where so they post like I think it was her like jeans. There was a model who's like more just like very like top, like a stomach and like just like smaller legs, and people was like, now why would you go put her on this? Why would you go put looking like them? Like, so y'all want literally one body, like it's a plus size brand, and y'all are coming for what?
What is she supposed?
I seen that.
It's supposed to. The goal is to represent real bodies.
Yes,
that's the whole body positivity movement. Is you, as an average human, should be able to see someone similar to your body type in ads. And just because a person has more weight on them doesn't mean they match my body type. There's so many women, like stomachs in America, we're more of an overweight and obese country. Stomachs is a very normal thing, and yet we want to act like it's not. And I'm like, doesn't mean that person shouldn't feel beautiful, that they shouldn't feel comfortable. They don't know. That person didn't know. Like, obviously, A+, so you probably know about Tori, but it's like, you should be able to see yourself. Like, I'm tired of like trying to buy stuff online and you see nothing similar to your body type, and you have to imagine yourself kind of in it
and what it would look like,
and what it would look like versus just having models who are actually looking like you.
That's what I'm curious about. Where now, since there is a push, they're trying to like have more body images, and like you can see, okay, they don't have it like a perfect constructed body, right? So with that push in the media, because that is coming from like a certain type of media, why are we still seeing girls, like women, like fighting it? Like, I feel like then when some like campaign comes out, I still look in comments and people are still like, you're setting them up. Why would you do this to them?
Because it's embedded in everybody.
Yeah, it's embedded.
Like,
like some type of fat phobia is embedded in everybody.
Yeah, but then how do we get past that point? Because I don't think it's fat phobia. Like, I really don't think it's fat phobia. It's now if it doesn't look good on that. Like, okay, how do I say it? You can be like a bigger girl, right? Pretty face. But if something's off, like if something looks awkward, they are
like unflattering,
like to the person's mind. Like, it's like a no. Like, I don't want to look. Like, there's a lot of people who are like, okay, Lizzo, great. Like, she's perfect, right? But then if you were to find like you were saying, that girl in Torrid, like she's a bigger girl here, but she has skinny legs, but because that looks awkward to our eye, and that's not.
Well, then that's lack of representation. People don't see that, even though we all see that in our everyday lives. But that's not what is shown to us as a beauty standard or something that anybody should aspire to.
Yes, but now that they are showing it,
not enough.
I think it's
nowhere
still
near enough.
Yeah,
like even Rihanna's like she had
enough.
girls who had that type of body type too in her fashion show, and so people are still like they're trying to push it in front of our eyes.
I mean, because I think it's still new.
Okay.
Yeah,
I don't think we've had enough time yet.
I don't think it's sunk in at all yet. I think it's still they're trying to push back. They're not getting fully comfortable with it. I think people are still looking at brands and ads to paint their fantasy. Like, if I wear your clothes, I become this. I look like this. And I think that's always been the mindset with brands. Like, that's what Victoria's Secret was like their thing. But I feel like now brands are trying to be like, you don't have to aspire to be this model. Like, this model is supposed to look more like you. And you can just be comfortable wearing the clothes versus like, okay, I need to look like that. Like, that dress is gonna make me look bomb. Versus just like, oh, that dress is I think that doesn't work for my body type. Like, I'm gonna feel comfortable where I'm at.
Yeah. That's what we need, because I'm also tired. I'm tired of seeing people wear things that are not for their, like, me wearing something like too tiny on me or too big on me, or like it just doesn't, and that's not the look you're going for. But then you look like, just buy your size, please, because I know people who will like buy a size that they won't, or like, shoes, like they'll try to squeeze their foot into a shoe you can't fit. Just buy your size.
I remember.
And it will look more flattering on you instead of you trying to like force yourself into something that it's not. Now you just look like you're suffocating in these clothes, or you look drowned in your clothes, and and it's just sad to me. And like, no, like they'll have it in their size, but they want to squeeze into a size.
They want to know that they're in a 4. They want to know that they're in a 10. Versus like no one's coming up to you and checking your tags.
Yeah.
So you're gonna look more like the 10 you want to look like if you get the 14.
Yeah.
Okay, so 2 things that are kind of like so the first thing I was gonna say, I remember like I was probably like 5th grade. There was a girl who literally wore like how old are you in 5th grade? Like 10? She wore her pants like so small because she like wanted to make it look like her butt was bigger or something. Like we're children.
Yeah.
I think about that sometimes and I'm like, oh my, like I hope she's okay now. And then also like recently, like a couple weeks ago, my mom, I think she was like looking in the mirror or something. She was like, do I look like I like lost weight or something like that? And I was like, I literally don't know. Oh, I think her pants looked like a little baggy. I was like, why don't you just get like smaller pants? And she was like, no, because then it looks like I lost weight. And I was like, nobody knows what you look like
looks like uncomfortable.
Yeah, it just looks like
you
you're
have
wearing baggy pants.
Yes.
She was like, no, because then people can tell that I lost weight in these pants. Nobody can tell you lost weight.
No one knows, because that's
God.
the thing. I feel like we obviously deal with our bodies every day. Literally, you wake up, go to sleep with your body, right? We don't take breaks from our body, but the world is not with your body all the time. So the world, and they just see what you're wearing, what you look like that day. So it's like they don't know that you lost 125 pounds. They just see the fact that you're wearing a dress that is nowhere near your size. Like it's just.
But that's how her brain works, and that is insane.
I mean, that's how a lot of people's brains work. And I don't know what it takes to get to a point of comfortability, because like I feel like everyone has insecurities. We know that. But then how do you not let those insecurities consume you to the point that you're now damaging yourself, or you're willing to alter yourself? Because, okay, plastic surgery, I go back and forth. There's some plastic surgery I'm like, yeah, I get it. Go ahead. But I just I wish it wasn't to make you then feel a certain type of way, because then I don't think you would feel a certain type of way. There's just something else you want to change about yourself. So if you're getting plastic surgery at a point where it's like, oh, I'm just doing this for me because I want this, versus as I'm trying to obtain a certain look. And then once you get that certain look, you know how many people who now they have the body type that they thought they wanted, and then now there's something else that they find wrong with themselves.
They're just gonna keep going.
Yes. And it's like, how do we get to a point in our minds where you know you're not just doing it? Like, you know how like, oh, I'm getting my ears pierced? Like, how do we get it to a point, like if you're getting plastic surgery, it's more like I'm getting it's like, you know, just a little, oh, that's cute. Whereas it's like, I want to look like this person.
And I think it's bad when the plastic surgery being done is all the same. That means you guys are all attaining something specific, versus you and your own. You've always hated that you had webbed feet. Like this is, this is something that you've dealt with your whole life, and you don't want
walking hard just a little bit, a little bit harder for you.
But it's like, I feel like now plastic surgery is like, oh, it's so easy, like it's whatever, we accept it. But I'm like, you guys are all trying to look like a certain thing, versus like, did you like, it's like, do you really want a big butt? Or is that because society says big butts are in, so now you want it?
And do you know what comes with that? Do you know what comes? Yes, you can big boobs, big butt. Your sizes are going to be different. So then they develop a different type of insecurity, because they're like, wait, I was wearing a size 6 before, and now with my butt, I'm wearing an 8, and now my pants are fitting awkward.
You can only buy pants from Fashion Nova, because like it does not like the way my body is set up. All of my pants need to be like cinched in, and I need to go get like extra like fabric and everything, because it just does not work. That manufacturers aren't making clothes with my body in mind. So like when y'all do all these things, y'all got to readjust your whole life now.
Yeah,
exactly.
When people get boob jobs, I'm always just like, why? As a person who've had big boobs, like I've had big boobs my whole life. Like they're above average size. It's a very awkward size, because I would be like a 32 FG HIJKLMNP.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll be in middle school having to shop at Nordstrom's because that's where the plastic surgery people will shop to get their bras because they don't, like, Victoria's Secret doesn't have my size. Target don't have my size. I can go pick up a bra. I can buy Fenty bras. They look gorgeous.
Didn't you get like some custom made at some point?
No,
Oh.
I'm poor.
Okay,
What?
never mind.
I mean, that's like people
I'm
have
thinking
plastic
okay.
surgery boobs do, but like I'm poor. Like no.
Okay.
So like I can't do that. But people don't realize like I could fit a dress everywhere else but my boobs. Like things don't fit right. You can't really do things. Like people are like, oh my god, I love like just like going out without a bra. That would physically hurt me. If I were to go to Target without a bra, that is a physical painful trip. Because walking off a ledge, like walking off the curb could be an ow. People bumping, like that's a painful thing. But for other people, it's like, yeah, free the nip. And I'm like, good for you and your nip. But like, my nip will be inside this bra so I could walk.
Yes, because you need some type of support.
Right.
Ooh, I can't. I
can't think about it.
Yeah, I can't either
bad.
because I already have back pain with no boobs.
Oh.
So
I have
I
back
can't imagine
pain.
back pain.
I have
with
so much.
boobs.
My back hurts right now.
Yeah,
I'm in pain.
yeah.
Okay.
Currently.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Wish I could help.
Anyways,
Big
Yeah.
bets are the same with lower back pain.
yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
It's upsetting because I don't have much of either, but I do have pain because of the way my back is set up. It's like a big arch, but my butt's not necessarily. It just sticks out, right? So I have back pain
very
just
popping.
from the arch that was I was granted with,
Mm-hmm.
and then I wasn't blessed with the jiggle. So
Oh my god.
there's that, but accept your body.
Right.
No, yeah, it's so sad that we live in this world where there's constantly things we're trying to like fight and combat against these images, and it just seems like it's falling on deaf ears.
Yeah.
That's why I say worry about your health, not your image.
But then that's because the hardest part is like the mental struggle of like
Comparing
learning
yourself.
to love.
True.
Because even like, let's
You
say
have to
something.
unlearn it.
Yeah, because even like for
Colonize
us,
your mind.
Okay. Phoenix, dismantle your mind. Even for like, let's say like natural hair, like the hardest part of that is learning to actually love that hair that grows out of your head and not whatever 3A YouTubers that be like 4C hair tutorial. It's like that's not what I look like.
Real.
So it's the same when like media is showing you all these things. It's just learning to love what you were actually just born with is the hardest
You
part.
really just like click something in my brain. This is another reason why Black women go through so much more than other people, because it's like, okay, yeah, women as a whole are dealing with it with their bodies, but then Black women have to deal with that with their hair. That's like another body image thing that
And
we
their
have to
skin.
go through, and our skin. Yeah, so it's like, okay, yeah, you have your body, but we have literally everything on us is being torn apart by society and told that we are less than and we don't have the ideal look.
And it's crazy because like everything is so Eurocentric. Like the beauty standard is Eurocentric. But like it's crazy because the body image right now in pop culture is based off of the African American body,
Yeah.
And lips.
essentially,
Yeah.
quote unquote, because not every African American woman, let me say African woman
Yeah.
body isn't not naturally like an hourglass figure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some of us are straight. Some of us don't have booty. Some of us don't have boobs. Like we're diverse. We're not a monolith. But we're sexualized
Yeah.
in pop culture and in media. So we're quote unquote voluptuous in society's
Yeah. One last
But it's weird though, because when you look at like video girls in the early 2000s and the 90s versus video girls now, they look different because there was like natural, like they were honestly, a lot of them were skinny, but they had like a little like,
they were natural thick.
yeah, they had a
though.
little curve or something. Now it literally looks like rocks on their chest and then rocks on their back.
It's disgusting.
And it's very stiff. It's not, and things aren't moving the way they should.
Yeah.
So I appreciate the artists who use real real girls or real bodies.
Yeah.
It's like hard not to knock people with, you know, plastic surgery, but then at the same time, we have to elevate actual bodies.
Because you know, it's one of the things, like, on paper, it sounds like if there's something about your body you don't like, and personally, if you want to get it fixed or changed, that's okay. But that's not the reality that we live in. The reality, everybody's getting the same body. Everybody's trying to uplift that body. So then we do have to focus that if you don't want a big butt, you shouldn't be forced to get a big butt to work in the industry. Like,
oh, sorry, you can go. Sorry.
I just feel like, and I also just have a thought about, like, kind of the reverse skinniness of, like, I remember when Zendaya was coming up and she was like, see, like, I have no butt, I have no boobs, and it's okay to love your body the way it is. And I'm like, you're literally a model. Like, you're literally a model. And I'm like, that's great, but there's always, like, everybody, I feel like, is always reaching to be the underdog in some way. And I'm like,
thin 90s, like, thing, that's not a bad thing now. Like,
Yeah.
it's either you can still have your hourglass, or if you look like you're Zendaya, you're still a beauty standard.
I think it depends on, like, your race, though. Like, as a Black person, like, I can understand from Zendaya's perspective growing up in Oakland. And, like, even though I have friends who like really tiny, or I think of Coyle Ray. She's like muscular.
She's so small.
She's muscular, tiny, and, like, she'll post a twerking video, and people are just like, oh, shaking bones, or, like, they'll just go off on her. Yeah, but, like, I think as a Black woman, you're going to get the more, like, slack for being, like, smaller. You don't even have to be skinny, but if you're just, like, small, you don't have the curves in the right places, you'll get more slack. So
looked down upon.
Yeah, but then I do agree that if she was Bella Thorne saying that, I would be like, roll eyes. But then I can see from, like, a Zendaya that she would probably be like,
yeah, I agree.
It's okay, love yourself.
I remember learning,
even though it's annoying. Do you know what I mean? Because it's like you're tiny. You literally had the ideal body type.
But for her, like, I understand it.
Yeah.
Like, I just wanted to bring up how, like, dangerous butt shots are. Like, butt shots aren't even, like, legal in America. Most people get it done in basements, and you can die from them. So, like, I just want to bring that up.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't plan on getting butt shots anytime soon.
But, like, I was just thinking about that, like, how dangerous it is. Like, K. Michelle's butt shots were leaking. She had to get it removed surgically.
Yeah.
People, like, there's, like, multiple strippers I've known who said that, like, the silicone or, like, the cement, like, was getting, like, seeping into their bloodstream.
Oh, wow.
They were dying. And, like, there's been multiple times where doctors were, like, had been sued and, like, put into jail because they killed patients and stuff like that. And it's, like, mostly African American women who are being killed by this because, you know, they're strippers or they're sex workers.
And we just naturally always just a higher rate. When we enter the hospital, sometimes our rate is just so much worse.
You know,
and, like, sex workers are usually overlooked.
Oh God,
But I'm glad that we talked about it. I think it's just a good, like, starting out. I'm pretty sure this topic is going to come up as each new wave, new branding thing, new angle comes up. But
this is a stepping stone.
Yeah, this is probably just, like, a good, like, these thoughts have been bumbling for so long, and we just wanted to kind of
just get the ball rolling a little bit.
And if there's anything that you guys want to mention, you know, DM us, you know, on the Instagram, on the Twitter, comment.
Any requests? DM us.
What do you want us to talk about?
Ew. Okay, I hate this. But any
to promote you guys? DM us.
Any last thoughts? Any last questions?
Don't risk your health for a beauty standard that is unattainable.
Period.
So prioritize your health and your mental state and your well-being over a slim waist, thick thighs, fat, whatever Nicki Minaj be saying.
It's not gonna happen overnight. I know people. I know people who are still working. It's like a continuous process. And so, like, if you have a bad day, you don't destroy yourself over it. But it's like a practice. You know, you gotta keep on practicing until it's a habit.
is not
loving
something.
yourself is a journey. It's a process.
Yeah, it's definitely something you have to like get better at. You're not gonna like one day wake up, I love my body, I want to change nothing.
It's like a muscle. It's a skill. You just gotta every day a little. Try affirmations. I don't know. Meditate. Drink some tea. I don't know,
honestly,
whatever works for
Dia
you.
Malaysia, she's really good at just hyping herself up and constantly complimenting herself and constantly just loving herself more than anything else. So really like
on a narcissist side.
follow her
I didn't know it was
tips and tricks.
Dragalasia hour, but
No,
it's
those
fine.
are compliments.
No, I'm literally saying they should reach out to you because like you're so good at it.
Okay, cool. Thank you. Anyways,
okay, thank you for listening. Rate, review, subscribe, all that good stuff, all that jazz. There's other episodes up. We're on YouTube. Whoop doop de doo. Bye.
bye.
So-
Yes.